Chair Griffin, I think you are now live.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Griffin, Chair, and I would like to welcome you to the December 8th, 2022 African American Heritage Commission virtual meeting. We will now call our meeting to order. The City County African American Heritage Commission consists of 9 members. 3 of those members are appointed by Asheville City Council. 3 are appointed by Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, and 3 are appointed by 6 appointed members. The commission is to advise the City Council and County Commissioners about the preservation, interpretation, and promotion of African American arts, history, and culture. All committee members and staff are participating virtually. We are streaming live on our virtual engagement hub, which is accessible through the virtual engagement hub link on the front page of the city website and also linked on the committee page. We also have an option for the public to listen live by phone by dialing 855-925-2801 and entering meeting code 9409. For those of you who plan to speak during our live public comment today, you would need to hit *3 to be put in the speaker queue. I will now go through and introduce all committee members and staff who are participating virtually. For our committee members, please make sure to mute your microphone if you're not speaking. When you have a question or would like to speak, click raise hand. Excuse me, it's an echo somewhere. Okay, and when recognized by the chair, unmute your microphone. Please remember to mute your phone after you are done speaking. Committee members, as I call your name, please say a quick hello. Aaron Griffin, hello everyone. Ashley Wilberding.
Hi everybody, good evening.
Catherine Mitchell. Diamond Couch.
Hello.
Michael Hayes. His mic, he's having trouble with his mic also today. Let's see, I think that's it. Staff and guest attendant is Brenda Mills, Director of Equity and Inclusion, City of Asheville.
Good evening, everybody.
Leonard Jones, Community Engagement Specialist, Buncombe County.
Good evening, everyone.
To help our audience follow along, I'll state each section of the agenda aloud. Again, I ask committee members to click raise hand and be recognized to speak. Please state your name each time you comment. Just a reminder that the public is listening on the phone, and this keeps them up to date on the order of the meeting and who is commenting or speaking. First on the agenda, we have the approval of minutes of November the 10th. Need an action needed.
Chair Griffin,
Yes.
my oversight with you have a guest at the meeting. If you could do that first, and then we introduce your guest, and then we'll do the minutes.
All right, we'd like to welcome Dr. Mullins. Would you like to?
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Good to see you as well.
Good to see you. It's good to see you.
To help our audience follow along, I'll state each section of the agenda aloud. Well, I already did that. So we're going to approve the minutes for November the 10th.
I move to approve those minutes.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Please take a minute to review the minutes. If anybody have any questions or concerns or anything they want to say about the last meeting? Okay, I'll do roll call again. Ashley Wilberding.
Yes, I vote yes.
Catherine Mitchell. Diamond Couch.
I vote yes.
Aaron Griffin, yes. Michael Hayes? Pete signaling yes. All right, so we'll move on to what's second on the agenda is staff updates. And in this section, we have Dr. Mullins to give us an update or any concerns or see how we can help with reparations. And thank you, sir, again for joining us. Thank you.
I really appreciate this. I before anything, the thing that's coming up that I wanted everyone to be aware of is Ta-Nehisi Coates, the author of one of the major essays. He came out in the I believe the Atlantic magazine, but the name of the article was "The Case for Reparations," and that conversation that article that he wrote started the conversation that we are now a part of at a national level. He'll be in Asheville. UNC Asheville is bringing him on February the 28th. They just today they opened the invite. The tickets are free, but they did want you to register for it. He'll be on campus, and this is I believe 6 o'clock in the evening. A question and answer, and the rest of his agenda they haven't made available yet. But Ta-Nehisi Coates is coming, and a strong showing from the African American community is something that I think will strengthen our hand here, his presence, as well as a strong showing of the community on campus for him. Will strengthen the commission's hand, the reparations commission hand, as we begin presenting recommendations. Our biggest need right now is that the commission has gone through a second. We're at that facilitates our meetings as well as venues and those things. We've gotten a second supporter there, and it slowed things down. But by the time Ta-Nehisi Coates comes and the new year is here, we will be submitting recommendations to the city that we will need support for. In fact, I can tell you, I can give you a heads up right now, is that it looks like economic is going to offer some recommendations to City Council and the County Commission. I believe healthcare has some insights. Education is biting at the bit to get going. And then we're looking for criminal justice as well as housing. And those 5 areas are where we're looking for the community injuries received during times like urban renewal, as well as some other areas of our history here in the city and county. We're looking for the city and county to make good on its promise to restore the health of our community. And how we will specifically do it is coming from the commission. And when those become public, I'll be happy to send it to you for whatever you can do to support us.
Thank you, Dr. Mullins. Appreciate that. So I was able to attend a meeting, the last meeting that you guys had on I think the 5th.
Yeah.
It's only one thing that I was kind of really concerned with. I don't know if you was aware that during the break time, the mic is still live. And I don't know if that's something that we would, I don't know if that's something that we want. I watched so many other meetings and the mic is muted. So I know that's not a big issue, but it can be.
Well taken point. I'll be sure to make sure that's addressed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let me just step in 1 minute and say the staff did not know we were taking a break. That was not on the agenda. So And unless you step up to a mic, you really can't hear anybody talking or anything specific being said. So if we're going to take breaks, we'll need to put that on us, but the tech folks will know that. So.
Anyone have any questions for Dr. Mullins?
While people are thinking, I wanted to say to folk that I know that there's criticism in the community of it's taking us so long to come forward with material, getting anything done. And it doesn't look like, I know that we talk to particularly Black folk. Talking to Black folk and talking to white folk for me, those are two different experiences. White folk don't think this is necessary, and I find it a very different audience than when I talk to Black folk who think that this will never happen and this is a pie in the sky conversation. We are wasting our time. Let me say to you that we are being watched across the state now. I'm getting calls from several municipalities, and they're wondering how we even got the conversation this far on reparations. So the idea of engaging conversation about the addressing of past wrongs begins with us on addressing current disparities. And I say to critics, tell me another place that's entertained a conversation like this. And this conversation is being led by an all-Black reparations commission. You tell me another place that's doing that, and because I don't know of another place. Our funding right now is just above the $4 million mark, with promises for $500,000 from the city, $500,000 from the county annually. The county has even topped that with an additional 2% every year. And so when we talk about the resources and identification of the problem, and we're saying we're not getting it done, I say, look, we've only been going for 6 months. And we have another year to go, and I'm looking at correcting 400 years of injustice. Be patient with me now. Be patient.
So, I mean, even to that point, Dr. Mullins, I know it seems to me that some of these conversations, I don't know. I'm sort of doing the same thing that I'm saying we shouldn't be doing. But you had spoke a little bit about implosion within us. Is it somehow that that maybe we can have this sort of like a pre-conversation before the conversation, so we can get all these things out, so it don't look like it comes out, so the world can see?
Yeah, I do. I completely understand it. We've been handling this on the fly, so to speak, and we were advised even by legal or the lawyers, city and county lawyers teams, that one way that we could approach this is by having conversations in which we don't have a quorum of commissioners present. If we don't have a quorum of commissioners present, all public meeting requirements go by the wayside. And it allows us to talk frankly as a family within the family ranks. And I think we might end up taking that approach, because some of the conversations, even about substantive issues, what are reparations and who gets it and what's this all about, or relationships with each other that we have not spoken to each other within our community sometimes. The presence of the faith community, it came up during one of the meetings. I mean, there's an absence of the churches on this commission. And, so there are a number of points that we need to talk about. And one way to talk about this is community engagement at the sub-public level. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but we've actually been discussing that, how to do it.
And I guess you posed a question at the end. I'd like to see if you can pose that same question to us, about,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember. I wasn't sure. I really appreciate you bringing this up, because I wasn't sure anyone was listening to me.
Yes, sir.
It's hard when you're running a meeting like that. But I wanted to say to people that as many difficulties as we are confronting and as difficult as this process is, and as often as we are full of insights in terms of how we are not doing the job, let's reverse that track. Suppose we actually present recommendations that speak to the heart of what we are talking about repairing here in Asheville and Buncombe County. Suppose we actually say to folk, this is what we want in terms of reparations. And suppose, the question I pose is, suppose they say no. Suppose they say, no, we are not doing it. We don't care how much work you put into it. We don't care your resources. We're going to take those resources because litigation might say you can't allocate things to the Black community like that. My question becomes, what do we do then? You know, and I'm saying that not as rhetorically either. I'm saying that because that's exactly what happened when folk were approached about ending slavery. I mean, over and over again, free Black folk presented petitions to the Congress, and they were told, no, we ain't freeing nobody. If you look at the desegregation movement, led by King presented over and over and over again, every locality that he was in, you know, the idea of sitting down and let's discuss this and end Jim Crow segregation. He was consistently told, no, we're not ending nothing. In fact, you get out there, we're going to throw you in jail. You know, and so I'm saying to you that history is not on our side with this. And we have to think about what it is we want repaired, say that this is what we want repaired, and be prepared to see to it that it is prepared. You see, there's some things coming down the pipe that we can't afford for folk to tell us no. The schools have got to be fixed. The healthcare system has got to be repaired where we trust the doctors well enough to have our health taken care of. You know, we are losing our home through taxation and gentrification. We have no housing here is taking the role of urban renewal. It looks like urban renewal is sponsored by the government. This is happening in the private sector, but it's the same effect. You know, we're confronted with issues we can't afford to be told no to. And so I'm saying, what do we do if we're told no? And that was the question we left. And I didn't even entertain a conversation about it because it's too much to think about all at once off the fly.
Again, thank you. Just one more question from me. I think it's about the audit.
Oh, yeah. This is the second recommendation that's been forwarded to the city and county. In fact, I was receiving some calls from the city today that I need to get back on explaining what it is in the second recommendation. And the recommendation basically is titled Stop the Harm. And in every arena, ranging from the UN Declaration of Reparations to the National Committee on Reparations, NARC, in COBRA, other national organizations that advocate reparations, the first thing they say we should do is to make sure that the things causing harm have actually ended. And so it was put forward and passed unanimously by the Reparations Commission that Asheville not only stop the harm that's causing disparities and continues to yield racial inequities, but that it demonstrate to us that it has stopped it. And to do that, it was voted that an audit be taken from the city and county in public policy areas to show where we are in compliance with racial equity, and where we are out of compliance with racial equity. Because you see, our recommendations are data-based, and the data we've been operating off of is not necessarily official data. It's data that we're waiting to come forward. The point being is that we know that there are disparities, but and the city and county have directed us to, as part of our mission, to address these disparities. But the first thing we have to do is stop the harm that produced the disparities, and then show that if there are disparities, data-wise, what are they? And that's where the audit comes in, and that's where we're waiting to be formally submitted to the city and county. But it was voted unanimously by the commission on Monday.
Okay, thank you so much.
I hope that was clear. I don't. There's so much I tend to babble because there's just so much going on. I hope it was clear.
Oh yeah, it's clear. Totally,
Yeah.
totally. So now that we're here in this historical moment, like, you know, I'm speaking for myself. The encouragement piece, to stay encouraged, you know, to keep hope alive, you know, what any tidbits you can give for myself and those of like us who, you know, we really are working hard, you know, wanting to see this happen, but sometimes it gets kind of challenging.
Yeah, but for me, and I'm telling you, this is work that I've been doing for a very long time here. I don't know if you all know that State of Black Asheville was an undergraduate research project out of UNCA. It started in 2006, 2007, and it was 10 years before any local government responded to it, and that was Bergen County with the Isaac Coleman initiatives. But it took 10 years to get any response based on that. And I remember being asked the same question: is how do you keep your hope alive? How do you keep from being discouraged and disappointed and walking away from this? And that I really mean this, is that my grandmothers saw what I was doing before they passed on. They both saw that I finished school. They saw that I was getting an appointment. I was going into university life. They were very proud of me. And I went to them each separately. And I said, I'm tired. I'm 35 years old and I've been in school all my life and I don't want to do this. I'm really tired. They looked at me and said, boy, you don't know what tired is. And I realized what they were saying is that, and they both said it separately, is that we have worked not only our entire lives, but your entire family has worked to get you where you are. And we expect you to do the work that we have prayed for you to do. And you don't have a right to be tired. You have a right to take a rest, but you don't have a right to be tired. My mother took my hand and said, look at my hand. She had carpal tunnel syndrome. And from when she washed clothes and ironed clothes. My father's mother was working the plantation in Mississippi. And I'm saying, compared to their lives, let alone the folk who came forth, I have no complaints. I have no complaints. And so, relatively speaking, I keep myself going by remembering what it took to get us here. And that's no small thing. That's no small thing. Plus, we don't have a choice, really. If we expect to be here, the work it takes is going to take a lot of work, But I tell you, I'm ready for the next generation to come. I am ready. Ready. Yeah.
So that's anyone else had comments, questions, anything about? No. Okay. All right, Dr.
Hey, Dr. Mullins.
Oh.
Hey, I'm on the phone now. I just want to say to Dr. Mullins, thank you for you doing your due diligence, man. I remember conversations you and my father used to have, and just to see you doing what you're doing with this reparations commission, man. And I'm very grateful. And we want to encourage you to keep doing the work that you're doing, sir. Thank you.
I miss your father, man. I miss your father.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Chair Griffin, Miss Catherine's hand is raised.
All right, Miss Catherine.
So,
Miss Catherine, you're going to have to unmute your phone. Hit *6, please. That should unmute it. She's 1-4.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. All right. I wanted to say to Dr. Mullins, thank you so much. I am following the reparations group, and I look forward to assisting with anything that I can personally do to help the process.
I'm going to follow up on that because I know you mean it, and what we're looking at doing is having smaller meetings. I don't know if you heard me earlier, but having smaller meetings and meeting more directly, engaging the community more directly. We're looking at not necessarily just meeting in the Civic Center because of its capacity to hold everyone who wants to be there. We're looking to have more personalized meetings, and I really would appreciate any support you get right that in doing that.
Will do.
Thank you. Plus, I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know.
All right, anyone else? You can jot my name down too, Dr. Mullins. Aaron Griffin.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, no more questions. Anyone? Okay, Dr. Mullins, we appreciate you coming out and informing us,
And I know that folk get shy in formal meetings. If you get a note from someone or someone saying to you and personally, please let me know. Pass it on. I really do need the support.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we're here to support any way we can. I think we all agree upon that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, sir.
All right, now.
All right. Next, we have staff updates. We'll start with County Liaison Leonard Jones.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't really have much to add. One of the things I would like to bring back to the commission's attention is that the Pack Square revisioning project is still occurring. They met last weekend with some focus groups and also a site visit on Saturday. The consultant was out. And there was some good discussions. I had popped up at some of the focus groups. They had focus groups around art and history and then some racial equity. I'd like to bring to this attention with that project is that with the Pack revisioning, a component of that is looking at the corridor from Pack Square that leads down into the block area and how that space can be more inviting and just kind of celebrate the history of the block and kind of make it more inclusive in that area. So the consultants really are trying to get communities' input around how that look. And that area will be the South Market Street, where the municipal building is, where the fire department, and on the other side is the parking garage where the Diane Wortham and Pack Square Place used as parking. And so it's dealing with that corridor where they park a lot of the fire trucks, like personal cars and SUVs, and they're just trying to think how to make that area more inclusive. Because if you're just visiting the area and look down that street and you see a row of fire trucks, SUVs, you wouldn't travel down there to see what's going on. And that's at that intersection is where the YMI. And so they really is trying to have community give some input around that. And so there's still opportunity for community to share their input. They have some virtual meetings that are coming up on Monday, December the 12th from 6 to 8 p.m., as well as on Wednesday, December the 14th from 6 to 8. And that you can log on, is posted on the asheville.nc.gov/Pack Square is where a community can log in and participate in that process and share in that visioning process of how they see that area. And it's a wish list. Right now the city is still going through a legal battle about the Vance Monument. So they still is a hold on that. However, as they say, with this project right now, it's just it's just a vision. And so they really just want community to share how we can improve that place and be more inclusive of people of Asheville and of Buncombe County and respective of the history of the people of the area. And so we strongly encourage community to participate in that process. And then after the new year, McAdams will come back and there'll be a design workshop on Friday, January the 13th, 2023. That'll be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so there'll be more detail coming out of what exactly will be happening at that design workshop, but it still deals with just Pack Square and how the people of Asheville and Buncombe County just see how that space can be improved on it. So we strongly encourage community, and especially this group is around the art and the history and racial equity. Bring your voice and let your opinion be known, and add it to just the information that they will present to City Council and the County Commissioner. So again, we just strongly encourage community to participate. And the dates again of that will be next week, Monday, December the 12th, and Wednesday, December the 14th. There'll be virtual meetings from 6 to 8 p.m. That community can still give input on the vision and project. And that's basically my updates for the commission tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard. Next, we have update City Liaison Brenda Mills.
I gave up my time to Dr. Dwight Mullen, but I do want to add in terms of reparations. And I want to just step back a little bit, because I think what happens is sometimes we wait for people to tell us in specific what to do. So if you feel like, you know, like Miss Catherine has really worked in the area of African-American history and a lot of that stuff, she wants to start gathering people together to kind of talk about that. If you want to showing up at the meeting and encouraging those folks would go a long way. Reaching out to the individuals, when, you know, like Dr. Mullen said, and just encouraging them to keep up the fight and asking them in particular, are there things that you can do to help? And this is just a Brenda-ism. If you stay positive, you can get stuff done. You wear yourself out being negative. We already know things have happened. Nobody's refuting that, not one bit. But what being positive, what ideas do you have in the area of criminal justice, economic development, education, housing, and health and wellness? I'll be providing you all with a list of the meeting dates and the meetings that happen with our impact focus areas. They're doing some amazing work in those small groups. And so anything that you can do to give a positive word or ways in which you want to be involved in community engagement, we're getting ready to ramp that up towards the 1st of February. We'll let you know. So.
Thank you. What about Councilwoman Kilgore? Yeah?
She's absent today.
She's our new vice mayor, though.
Yes, she's our new vice mayor.
So that's good news.
And there'll be assignments for boards and commissions, so I'm not sure if she's remaining as your liaison or not. So I'll know more about that, I guess, in the next week or so, and I'll let you know.
Thank you. All right. Moving right along, unfinished business. Is that correct on my list? No. There's planning meeting.
Well, what we wanted to do is, it is old business. We continue to talk about your planning meeting and some of the things that came out of that meeting.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you guys want to break down into possibly a committee to start looking at some of these. So there's a report, which I shared in your meeting information.
Yeah.
And then there's a longer document that talked about possible work plan items. You also can consider, which I think, I want to bring this up to you, and I just thought about it this afternoon. We'll talk about it a little bit more, but the organization that was awarded the RFP for the Juneteenth, I think working with that organization to help with Juneteenth for this coming Juneteenth in 2023, that would be a big plus for the African American Heritage Commission. That is history. They intend to commemorate, you know, what happened with Juneteenth, as well as having some activities. So I just wanted to know if you guys were interested in breaking down into committees to just meet virtually, maybe to just have some discussions around these possible work plans.
Is Bennett, I think Michael Hayes, he's
He's gonna,
He's our representative, right?
right, for that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah, but hey,
So
it's Michael Hayes.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get the invite to the, to the selecting of the committee, but hopefully we can move forward and connect with, being that the committee is already selected, I still ought to be connected.
Okay. I guess that's what I was asking Brenda, like being that we have, he's our representative. How does that work?
Well, it was just a one-time deal. What they did was they took the RFPs they received for Juneteenth. They reviewed, they served lunch, because when we sent out the invitation, the date and the time and the information, we did it in person here at City Hall. And they chose the MLK Association. So what I'm saying is not just, Michael can be your representative with, checking in with them, but I think you guys should collaborate with them as volunteers, whatever means necessary to help with that. Because this is part of what you do is African American heritage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, we got Juneteenth, we got Pack Square, we're all over the place. So I'm just
No, you're not all over the place. You're getting energized now to do some things. You have not been involved in anything. So,
we have.
No. Well, hold on. Miss Catherine has brought to you the markers that we're working on downtown. But you're not leading these things, so that makes it easier.
Well, that's my point. Is like, in order to stop saying we're not leading anything, we need to come up with something that we can lead as a commission. Because if we're going to continue to support these groups and then not get recognized for supporting these groups, it's not doing us any good.
And so that's why I'm suggesting that you figure out some means by which you would like to break down in committees and consider these possible work items, or are there other things that you want to consider?
Okay.
I'm not sure how you'd like to do that, but
anybody suggestions, any comments, or anything from anybody else in the group? No? All right. Someone.
Ms.
Okay. Catherine.
Miss Catherine, you're muted again, *6. Miss Catherine? Oh, there she goes.
Yes, I'm here. What do you have on your list?
I don't have a list. You have a summary report and you have possible work plans that were provided to you in June, right after your planning meeting. So I'm suggesting that maybe you break down into some groups to talk about some of those ideas. And you don't have to have a named group. So say maybe 3 of you work on some of this stuff, and like at the top of your report, one of the things that was listed was revisiting Asheville's African American Heritage Mission. Well, you've done that. You did that. You said you're fine with what you have. Reviewing other African American Heritage Commission missions, objectives, and programs to facilitate planning and goal setting, and then commencing planning and goal setting related to the 2023 work plan. So one team could just work on other ideas from other commissions across either the state and the country, and then another group could work on the possible work plans. So you could divide yourself up. You have 7 members now. And 3 of you could work on something, another of you work on another. Does that sound good?
Yes, to me.
So who would like to work on reviewing other missions and objectives and programs? And let me just say also, I need to put that out there. Dr. Fox provided a really good list of a lot of those programs, and I will provide that to all of you again. So you will have that. I'll follow up with an email tomorrow, and you'll have all of that information so you can look at it. We're not asking for a comprehensive report. Just come back with some ideas about things you might be able to do. And when you think about what you're doing, you got to be willing to do it. Because this is you led, not staff led. We'll be your, resource, but something that you would like to do. And I think Ashley's got her hand raised.
Okay, Ashley.
Hi, I just wanted to clarify.
Brenda, you can mute me.
Smaller groups would be meeting separately and then coming to this meeting to share that information and bring those ideas forward.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll also add, sorry, I'm not opposed to any of that. I don't necessarily want to be the one to jump forward and say, yes, let's do it, but I am in favor of that if that's what, and I'd be happy to participate with whatever's decided. So that's my vote. I know that's not really helpful, but that's where I'm at.
No, it's very helpful. Would you like to work on the group around other missions? There's a big old document that Dr. Fox provided around other people's missions across the state and across the country, and about ideas that we could, work on as a group. Would that be something helpful that you'd like to work on, or maybe the goal planning for next year?
I like the first thing you said, to help support other groups. Yes.
Okay. Other members?
Brandon Oliver hand is raised.
Thank you. Is there a group for getting stuff done, like for planning some action moves?
Yep, goal planning group. You want to be on that one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm gonna need one early too.
Anybody else?
We gotta start building this resume, yo. Like, I'm so ready to go. There's so much stuff to do with so much. Hey, something that the group was discussing is the lack of Black organization and communication of how we are not teaming up to do things together. And no matter what the situation is, the pride, the egos, the history, whatever, yo, we have to stop that. We got to I mean, I see it in a lot of different aspects in communities. It's strong, it's deep running, but somebody has to stand up. We have 8 churches right now, and we don't have a whole community church-wide, like citywide event. They don't cross, and the church is still a stronghold, whether a lot of the younger generations, like they say churches are dying out and things, but it's still a stronghold in the community, no matter what. So I think we need to tap into that too. I'm sorry I'm talking, y'all. I see a lot of opportunity for us to go. And me and Chair Aaron, we've been talking and stuff. There's a lot that we can do. And once we get going, like, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna be a problem. We just have to get that inertia. We just gotta get that jump start. But yeah, goal planning. Put me up, Brenda. Thank you.
Absolutely. Diamond, Miss Catherine, you guys, Michael. Is it Michael still here? Yeah. No.
Yes, I'm sorry. I have some noise in my background, but I very much agree with planning meetings. I think as a new member, it would just provide some momentum, and I would like to do the goal setting for next year as well.
Okay, sounds wonderful. Thank you. We lost Michael, I think. Miss Catherine?
Man, I'm sorry, Brenda. You would say goal setting for next year. And I was like, next year? No, I ain't got time to wait till next year, but next year.
Yeah, you do. Because next year will be in 3 weeks.
I really was thinking like a whole nother year. And I'm like, no, I'm not about to wait that long, yo. Okay, yeah, now I'm definitely down.
All good. All good.
So how many was it? Is it only 2, just planning and goal setting, and what's the other one?
And the other, looking at other missions and other African American heritage type groups across the state and the country. Which one would you like to?
State and country.
All right. Yeah. And Miss Catherine, can you mute yourself again? Unmute yourself again. There you go.
Yes. I took the tour this summer of the Montgomery and Selma Heritage Centers, and I'd like to continue working on looking at other facilities that are involved in cultural heritage.
So would you like to do that as part of the goal planning for 2023, or would you like to look at other missions? What's your preference?
Goal planning.
Okay, yes, ma'am. We got you. All right, and then we can just check in with the other folks that were not able to be here today so that they can, I'll create a form for them to sign on to, and then I'll send you all your information. Who would like to be the lead in each of these? And all the lead means right now is making sure a meeting gets scheduled, that you meet, and you do not have to meet in person unless that is your particular preference. You can meet virtually if it works better for you. So who would like to do that for the goal planning? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Catherine?
Yes.
You raised your hand.
Yes.
Yes, you raised your hand. Did you have something?
Well, I would lead the goal setting process.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And
Ashley, would you be willing to lead the other missions?
Sure.
Awesome. And then we'll try to get you some more members once we put this out again tomorrow. Provide all the detail in a folder, Google folder for you to research. And anything that you need, just let me or Leonard know. And that's all I have. Thank you, guys.
thank you, Brenda. So I guess the next part, Leonard did such a great job with the Pack Square Visioning Project. And you spoke on Juneteenth. The annual report is next.
Yes.
And so I had an opportunity to look at the draft. Is it a packet like it last year that you'll send out?
I did send the draft.
I saw the draft. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
I'm saying, but it wasn't anything to fill out or questions or anything in what I got. It was just
what I did was take your minutes, your agendas, and stuff that you did this year and put that into this annual report. Now, one of the things we're going to add to that annual report is the creation of these committees. So we'll add that. But this is your report.
Yeah, but I didn't do it.
Well,
and it's not due yet. So
it is due January 21st.
Right. And I would like to do it this year because it's not going to be like last year.
So okay. So one of the things, you're fine to do that.
Thank you.
We talked about that in October because I'm asking you about meeting every other month. So if you decide to meet every other month, you won't have a chance to vote before the due date in January. And we cannot vote online if you decide to meet every other month. I'm asking that you meet starting in February. If you want to meet again starting in January and then do every other month, that's fine. Either way works for me. But we haven't
If we do every other month, that leaves the open month for the work groups, right?
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay.
To attend other events, things of that nature, anything that you come up with. Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't have to start in February. You can do January. And then if you do January, starting in January, you skip February, March, then that will give you a chance, Aaron, to take what I have worked on and bring that back to the committee in January.
Yeah, that's
I just need to get that about a week out so I can add that to the packet for them to review.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're gonna move on from that because you're going to be working on that.
All right, so we'll move next.
Your vacancies.
Vacancies. We have one vacancy, right?
You have two.
Two vacancies.
You have one for the county, and then you have one that the commission would appoint.
Right. We're going to replace Lynn Smith and Georgia Shannon.
Mm-hmm. Now for Lynn Smith, you have two applications. You have one for Kimberly Price, and the other one was for Tyshawn Johnson. We just need to let the county know what is your preference before. She said, Leonard, they're going back to the county commissioners on the 15th of January, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
I know we mentioned forget her first name, Debolo. Is that
She's the city application?
Okay.
The county, the two for the county have to be decided on, and you would not be able to vote on one or the other of these tonight until they chose which one they wanted to do.
Got you.
If you want to hold off and wait until they make their choice, because I'll know that probably about a week out, right, Leonard? It'll be, yeah. And then when you come to your meeting again, then you'll have the two other options to add to the commission.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, so we just need a recommendation tonight about which one for the county.
I vote for recommending Mr. Tyshawn Johnson.
Any other recommendations? You do not have to vote on this. If no one has any kind of questions or concerns, we can let it stand.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to let it stand until the next time.
Well, Tyshawn is who you're going to recommend to the county. You understand what we're doing? So this is who we would tell the county you were recommending, is Tyshawn Johnson. That we have to do tonight.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah.
I second that.
Okay. Anybody else have any other? I'm hearing another. We will push Tyshawn Johnson forward to you. And you do have Tiffany Debolo, who has applied to the African American Heritage. Unless you want to wait January, you can decide if you would like to add her to the African American Heritage Commission as your appointee.
I recommend Tiffany Debolo.
I second.
All righty. Well, it is done. It is done.
I agree. Catherine Mitchell.
Okay.
All right, so we're ready to move on to the number 6 on our agenda.
It's the meeting schedule request.
Schedule request?
Mhm.
Yeah, meeting schedule request. Considering every other month. I thought that's something we just is that something that we want to do, meet every other month starting in February?
And I just suggested February. You can start in January. You would meet in January and then skip a month and then come back in March. So either one. Folks, we need you to speak up.
Well, I already spoke on this issue months ago. I thought it was important for us to stay engaged.
And
we're not really meeting in person like the rest of the groups. It's a little different. We decided to do virtual. That's what we decided, and we're not meeting like the rest of the group. So me personally, that's just my personal thing is to keep it the way it is for right now. Ashley?
I'm in favor of continuing monthly meetings virtually.
Anyone else? How y'all feel about this? Catherine?
Yes, I'd like to continue meeting monthly and virtually.
we're not voting on virtual or in person. We're just voting on every other month.
Okay. I think we should continue meeting every month.
Diamond, let's hear from everybody, please.
Yes, I'm having trouble with this because we'll be adding another meeting for the working group meetings. So just wanting, if we're trying to get some of that movement, I'm not sure. I think I would vote for every month and keeping as long as we have a good rhythm for the working group meetings.
Brandon?
Stress anyone out that we have to reschedule, but I'm flexible. I'm with whatever. Like I said, I'm just ready to go, bro.
All right.
And Leonard, great job on the presentation for PACS. That very, very informative.
Thank you.
So this is what I want to say is one half of your liaison team. So Aaron, what we will do, since y'all want to stay meeting monthly, I'm going to need agenda items from you about 2 weeks out so that I can, because I've been putting the agenda items on here. So I will need those from you since you want to meet every other month, because there's just not been business to meet every month. So if there's going to be more business, that's totally fine, but there's not been business. That's why I suggested meeting every other month, and then you use the opposite months to do committee work. That way you have a substantive report when you come into your committee meeting. I mean, and I don't know how long you want to keep the committees together. You may come back once they respond or have a report and you're done with that work and you develop other committees, but this group has to begin to be more active in their agenda items.
Absolutely. But we have. And stay positive. We just talked about it. We got to stay positive.
I'm positive. You need to get more active.
Yeah. But
yeah.
But I can't. This group is active, and I mean we are active. We are active. We attend a lot of. When I say we all over the place, there's a lot of people that's on this commission that's busy, active. We're active. And I guess that's my thing about, like, if we're going to continue to if we're going to be judged by not putting on something ourselves and doing something ourselves, but still attending and participating in all these other events that's happening, I think that's totally unfair. To say that
nobody's judging you on that.
But to say that we're not active, we are active.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. So let me make sure you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
You need to actively get involved in this agenda. So if you are doing meetings, say for example, you guys are attending meetings. Well, say that. Let's put an item on your agenda. Because I don't know that.
Okay.
This is the first time I heard that, right? I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what you're doing, right? So I'm just saying, what we will do is get an email out, ask for agenda items. If there are things that you are doing that you would like to report on this group, I think that is excellent. But that needs to come from you, not from the staff. Now,
Okay,
we'll have our staff things like vacancies and stuff like that. But other than that, it should be all you. And I'm totally fine with that.
okay. Well, we could have discussed this off camera, but thank you.
Well, I asked to talk to you. We haven't had a chance to do that. So it's all good.
I don't know. This is the implosion thing that I was talking about. We got to get better at this. But I got it. And thank you so much. So now we move on. Anybody in the speaker queue? Any questions or comments or anything? Anybody? We lost? No?
No.
Okay. Number 6, public comments.
There's no one in the speaker
No one's in the queue. All right. So the next meeting is Thursday, January the 12th, 2023. Oh, I got a hand somewhere. Brandon.
Got it. Yeah.
Brandon? Brandon? Nothing?
Can you hear me?
Vaguely, yes.
Can you hear me? And
have we filled Beverly's vice chair position yet?
We have not.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? All right. So the next scheduled meeting is Thursday, January the 12th, 2023. And it will remain virtual. Check on the city's engagement hub for more directions on how to participate. So no questions, no concerns. I'll adjourn the meeting for now. So adjourn, y'all. Have a great holiday.